All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. We have quite an episode for you today. We have our friends Fortune Child on. I thought it was a great episode. We had some really great highlights. What do you think, Bill?
It was the best.
It was the best?
I love Fortune Child.
Yeah, these guys are awesome.
They're my new favorite Jacksonville band, 100%.
So we get into some of the stuff about them being a three-piece now. We get into some cool topics on Bottom of the Billboard. I think my favorite by far was the Unpopular Opinion segment.
Unpopular Opinion section was just to die for, really.
Yeah. I mean, if you want it,
that's a death threat.
If you want a surprise banger of an ending, watch that.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
And then also working with Jim DeVito and Kevin Nelson on their newest record, Close to the Sun. Make sure you guys check that out and stream and all that good stuff on all the platforms. And enjoy the episode. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, Bottom of the Billboard starts now. Bottom of the bill. Shit.
This is Bottom of the Bill, where we talk about the modern grind of a musician.
Album cycle.
Oh, hold on, Bill. Give me a second, man. Because we don't know what we're talking about.
Spotify playlist.
You keep interrupting me. That's not how we discussed it. Just give me a second, man. We invite established artists
Festival lineups.
Can I just get my stuff out real quick? We invite established artists on to share their strategy to success.
Marketing strategies.
The premier do-it-yourself podcast.
Hashtag DIY.
Ah, screw it. This is Bottom of the Bill. Is your guitar basic AF looking? Does no one even acknowledge that you play when walking by it hanging on your wall? If people won't shower you with attention, what's the point of you even playing? A gratifying creative outlet? I'll grow up. So people can say, hey, you're a guitar player, and therefore superior to me in every way. And there's no better way to ensure that happens than with a custom pickguard or leather strap from Carmedon.com. Whether you're breathing life into an old guitar or starting a new custom build, Carmedon guitar products have a look that's unique to your particular vision. Go to Carmedon.com today to pick out a new look for your guitar. Carmedon.com, never turn down. Use promo code BotB for 10% off your next purchase. That's promo code BOTB for 10% off your next purchase.
They didn't
We're
like
too
that
jammy for them.
that we jammed. They were like, we need you to play Sublime exactly as it's written. Otherwise, people get confused, and it's like right to Spring, Stravinsky, and people have a riot outside.
So 2.5 minute song? Yeah, cool. That's awesome.
Suck my dick from the back.
Yeah, from the
Suck
back.
a fart out of my butthole.
So we got it's a good way to get started,
But we
guys.
didn't we just play there like in January?
I think we did.
Yeah, with Ian. It
With
was on a
Ian.
Monday because that punk band,
Called out.
Julia Gulia.
System of a
Julia
Down.
Gulia.
And then-
And they're really
System
good.
of
And there were
Down.
people. And not that they're not bad, but there were people with Julia Gulia cover band T-shirts on.
Yeah.
Dude,
I
I
need
know
to
some,
see them.
I know some cult
And I just-
follower Julia Gulia fans.
Oh, yeah, big
They
time.
have-
For real.
I don't
they
get
have
it.
a legit following.
Yeah, they have it
No,
for sure.
no, they do.
They do.
insane.
100%.
Oops.
Yeah.
It's a fucking.
All right,
Hello.
Here we go.
100%. So we can keep all that, by the way. You know, it's good,
Hello?
good content right there.
Oh, this one's just a little fucky. That's right.
Oh,
Whatever.
anyways, so Fortune Child, welcome back, guys.
Yeah.
Christian
How's
Powers,
it going?
Buddy Crump, and what was your name again?
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about
cares
it. This is John Ward's third or fourth time on the podcast.
That is the
Did we
question,
decide it's
isn't it?
3.5?
Yeah, it's 3.5.
3.5.
Because it's fun story. We did this podcast about.
You better find a place to knock on wood as soon as you say it out loud because you're going to jinx it.
We did this podcast. Good. I like that. Good addition. That was Christian, by the way, if you're not watching. So we did this podcast like a month ago, and it was about 2 hours into it, and we were about to wrap it up. It was a solid episode, and fucking Crash Bandicoot back there. Sorry, Gene. Sorry. Yeah, so the episode crashed. Now we're back here doing another episode again. So what do you guys think?
Take
Do you
two.
think it's John's third or fourth time? I think we decided on 3.5, though.
3.5.
3.5. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'll
anyways,
take it.
14 team.
and what did we learn about that?
Always have a backup plan.
Well, that Crash Bandicoot is an awesome name for your video guy.
Yeah. One of the things, when it's crashing, but
I'm just joking. Gene's is shit.
I
We
fully
learned
accept
that
this.
it's about the journey, not the recording.
Whoa. What if you record the journey?
what? What does
Yeah.
that mean?
What if you recorded Journey?
Ooh. We talk
Wow.
about that, right?
Wow.
That's the guy.
We'll get there.
Because that's the guy who. That's a great segue. Because that's the guy
Wow.
who produced your record, right?
Oh, yeah.
One of the producers on your
Yeah.
record. Good segue.
Dude, that was
They pay me to come here.
Yeah.
Wow.
In exposure points, I will say.
Yeah.
I got
Pays my rent.
chills.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah, Kevin Nelson did. He's a great guy. He's a wizard of the musical arts, everything, engineering, producing.
So was he
Yeah.
there with you guys in the studio while you were recording?
He actually wasn't. We recorded with Jim DeVito. So we recorded at Retrophonics. Did it all in 2.5, 3 days. But Kevin mixed it. And him and David Frangione in David Frangione's studio. And then Rodney Mills mastered it.
Okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool.
And we're talking about their debut album, Close to the Sun.
Yeah.
Is that the name of it, right?
Yes.
I got it right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Indeed.
Did you guys get into like a tiff with Slightly Stupid for Closer to the Sun?
Actually, that got brought up.
It did?
'Cause, yeah, we were
I
close.
don't remember that.
I
but
think
yeah.
I initially had wrote it down in my phone, and I don't know if I meant to, but it came out as Closer to the Sun, and I was like, and I was
Yeah.
like, no, but yeah, it was Close to the Sun because it was a lyric in one of the songs.
Do you know
Close to the Sun.
who the closest is to the sun? That'd be
Mercury.
Rob Thomas. He's 7 inches away.
Yeah, 7 inches away. That's closer than Mercury, guys.
That's pretty close.
Yeah.
That's one of my. That's the lyric that just gets me the worst. I'm just like, I hate that lyric. It's just so cheesy.
I really like that song though.
7 inches from the midday sun. Like,
He's-
ugh.
Just describing how hot it is outside, you know.
Why 7 inches? It's so just specific. I don't like it.
Where did Close to the Sun come from? Like, what does
Sorry.
it mean? I know it's from a lyric in a song, but like, what does it actually mean for you guys?
That song. Well, actually, that's a funny story because that
like
song.
every song's like to me, it's like about a girl. And then, like,
Yeah,
it's
it
some weird
all-
shit, yeah.
It can't. Yeah, actually, I guess
Dude, that
the
song's about a
choruses
girl,
do,
yeah.
but the way that song started, the title to the song used to be called 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's a,
2022.
There's
let's
this
maybe-
funny story behind
there's
that,
a
too.
really funny story. We won't name names, but we worked with a promoter, and at the end of the show, he came out and was like, "You know what? Great performance. You know what? I would probably rate that like a solid 8 out of 10." And it was the first show we ever played, and he was walking. Am I allowed to say this? I don't really care.
Yeah, I don't give. Yeah,
I don't think it matters.
We're
He was
kids.
walking out from behind where they had collected the money and the tickets, holding like an arm's wad full of money. And he grabbed like $200 and gave it to us.
Oh my God.
And we were like, we're never working with that fucking guy again. But then we called it 8 out of 10 because there was a lot of the some of the stuff in the verses. That the line that comes from is flying around the moon won't get you close to the sun. And there's a lot of different kind of language in there that kind of talks about, sort of being a little, I don't know, selfish maybe. But then the choruses are more about a girl, so whatever. But yeah, fun story.
What do you think what do you mean like flying around the moon won't get you closer to the sun? What does that mean? Like, is that like if you just kind of stick around in one spot?
It's like going in circles.
Circles,
Yeah,
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 gotcha.
exactly.
Cool.
You're not gonna venture out.
So I'm not very smart. So
No.
yeah, I think that's
Yeah,
swinging.
dude, neither am I.
I just think you're throwing people off that you're like, I don't really think about space when in reality you're from another dimension and from another planet.
Alpha Draconis specifically.
Yeah.
We have a song that we wrote about it.
True that. So yeah,
Okay.
we're pretty good at writing song names too. So
I just realized I gotta go.
That's so what was
Damn.
so what was recording this-
starting band beef like just for no fucking reason at all. Like
We
yeah,
just
your
all
song
start
name's
beating
pretty
the
cool.
shit out of each other.
What's up?
You guys didn't know you were getting into this. did you?
Yeah. So what was the process like recording this album from kind of the conception to putting it out?
We went in, had no idea what the hell. Really, we wanted like a nice raw vintage, kind of thing, So we thought Jim DeVito, his studio Retrophonics is a gold mine of. There's probably like $3 million worth of vintage gear.
Oh,
All over.
what's the address there? And do you have a key that you can give people?
Literally, like you could pass it. Like literally, like I
Oh, yeah, on
always
Crescent Beach,
yeah. It's just gorgeous. Like you go in there, it's like a cave of like nothing, but like he's got like the one of the frames of like the Allman Brothers soundboard that was, you know, like 69. I mean, he ran sound, you know, like he was always like a stagehand in the early 70s and stuff, like those guys and stuff. So just being a part of that was kind of what we wanted, you know. We wanted, you know, something like that. The room was really dead, you know. It was, you know, like I ran through a Marshall, I think it was like a super lead or something, you know, like an old vintage, you know, like a high watt cabinet, just cranked in the closet. Just sat in the closet, just like in the closet.
Yeah, the buzz was nuts.
It was
I can imagine.
insane. You know, like when you shut the door, it's just still like loud. You know? And you know, really dark cymbals. You know, like dark, like, you know, just quiet cymbals actually on the drums. John ran direct inject into a. You remember what you ran, John?
I really don't remember the name of the box.
Ooh, I remember the
Do you know,
pedal, but I
Christian?
don't remember the name of the piece of like DI equipment.
Yeah, but I wish I knew, but I was running the bass into some really nice kind of old vintagey DI box, you know.
He described
And
it
I,
as
Yeah, I
really
wish I knew.
nice.
Exactly.
That
And
was Jim. Yeah,
And
it was. It
was.
sounded
Yeah,
so
yeah.
good.
It was crazy.
He had that boutique, that awesome pedal. It was like handmade. The
Yep.
spoonful.
Right. It was
awesome.
just a really nice experience to just be there with him, you know, just to really sort of, you know, it's like we would throw him what we were, you know, I mean, really, he would just we just play live. I mean, the whole album was recorded live. You know, we really didn't spend too much time really sitting down, really constructing, you know, I mean, like there were some times where, you know, but
That's
as far
really.
as-
Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
As far as just like live, I mean, like recording the songs, I mean, like they were all done. It was like, okay, let's, you know, we play that song live. Okay, all right, that one's good. Then, you know, the next one. We were in there for physically recording for about 3 days?
Not. It was like 2.5.
It was 2.5 days. Songs were done. You know, it was only one overdub on the song called "Far." It just a guitar break in the middle. You know.
I think all the bass tracks were done in the first day.
Yeah.
And the day 2 and 3 was just for overdubs and vocals.
Yeah,
and stuff.
vocals.
Quit bragging.
We did,
I was done in like
yeah.
a fucking day, so fuck you guys.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
Yeah, I don't have to play as many notes as Buddy though. So.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it
it
took
was
more time to.
It's crazy.
It really didn't take that much more time, but
No.
Buddy's got more notes to worry about.
Yeah, we did all the. Everybody played everything at once, and I did like a scratch vocal, and I stood in the corner, and then we just played it live, and I sang through, so we kind of were all on the same page. But yeah, those basic like the groundwork tracks first day, and then we went through and did vocals and things like that.
That's really impressive that you guys knocked all that out so quickly, because I mean the performances are like flawless. I feel like you listen to that record and it sounds like anything that you hear on the radio. You know, the production's amazing.
No, thank
But
you,
first
dude.
and foremost, like if the performances are there, the production can't be there. You know, so you guys nailed it for being live. That's pretty dope.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Yeah.
dude. No,
We were
it was,
excited about it.
was,
Yeah, we did a lot of rehearsing right before it with that kind of goal in mind.
Right.
We wanted it to be like, let's just lay down takes that we like and then be done, instead of like having to piece things. You know, so that was kind of our goal going in.
You said your producer's name DeVito, right?
Jim DeVito, yeah.
Jim DeVito. I hate to even say this out loud, but like we did talk a lot about him before, and like there's a lot of gold that he had. How did he help you record these tracks and everything like that? He was pushing you a little bit. I remember you told me last time.
Oh
The
yeah,
stories were amazing.
Oh gosh,
I'm sorry. It's hard to capture lightning in a bottle twice. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you're
No,
right.
no,
You're
no,
right.
yeah.
You should have been here
Yeah.
the first time.
Yeah.
No, it was
First time was
it
gold.
was crazy. That was kind of for me anyway. That was the best part of the recording process, was his stories and the way that he would interact. Because half the time he wouldn't. So it was just us like standing there, and he would just be silent.
Yeah.
And we're like, "So are we good?" And he's like, "Are you good?"
Oh, nice.
And we were
Yeah.
he's like,
you know, so
Yeah.
it was cool. He really kind of left it on our plate. Like we kind of went through and used our own kind of jurisdiction.
He'd be like, try something like this, and then I would try it, and then I would look at him, and he wouldn't say anything.
Yeah, it was
Ooh.
crazy. He
And
was
so it would be like
big
like,
Yoda vibes.
like that.
Yeah, I was
He's
about to
like,
s-
yeah.
what do you think?
yeah.
He sounds like if Robert California was a music producer.
Yeah,
Dude, 1,000%.
I love that.
Very
1,000%.
much.
Robert,
Yeah.
for those who don't know, Robert California was the GM of The Office in like the last 2 seasons, I think,
There's a show on the NBC called The Office that people watched back in the day.
back in the
He's
day.
kind
pretty
of
good
like
show.
Robert
show.
California mixed with Yoda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big time.
So it's funny. I feel like guys that are like that are kind of doing that because they want to see where you're at because
Yeah.
their career is so extensive. They've worked with people and they've put so much creative energy into things and see it like not work out. So they're just like, oh, you know what? I'm not going to do that anymore. I want to see where you're at before I'm going to start to give you like the, you know, like the juice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. I think he really was about like not wanting to conflict in our creative process either, which was really nice. Like at the end, I kind of realized what was going on because there were definitely times in my head I was like, I really wish this guy would say something, you know, because
Right.
all you're doing in there is, you know, for us too, it was like our first album together. You know, we didn't really know what we were doing going in there. And especially for me, that was the first time I'd ever just been singing, like, let alone like cutting a whole record. So that was where I was nervous. And that's where he completely stumped me the day that he told me to rewrite the lyrics to
Yeah.
that
Oh,
one
yeah,
song.
that's right.
Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, that was the most humbling experience I've had yet because the whole time I'm feeling really good and we had gone all the way through the tracks. I left the song Slow Down for last because I was like, that one like the back of my hand, all good, you know, last
That
song.
was one of the first ones we ever wrote.
Yeah,
Like
so
the
I was
second
like,
one, maybe.
all right, cool. Like this is cake. Man, started off, got through the first verse, like the first half of verse, and he just like stopped the recording. And he's like, that's a fucking train wreck. And I was like,
yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
and I was like, holy crap.
Yeah.
And so he was like, take the rest of the song. Took the rest of the song. He's like, rest of it's good. He's like, come back tomorrow and fix that.
Right.
And so I was like, okay. And the way I write like the lyrics with this band is I write them on spot. Like I don't like go home and ponder over stuff
No.
very much. It's very much like how I feel, what's going on in the room, you know? So I was like, how in the fuck am I going to do that? So I
Right,
literally
yeah.
showed up with a pad and paper in my lap in the driveway of his house the next morning. And I just sat there and was like listening to the intro of the song over and over again. And I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to do it. And for whatever, I don't know how, when I got in there, I just started like jumbling stuff down. And he was like, that was good. And I was like, okay, cool, sweet. I couldn't even tell the difference between the two.
Yeah.
You know, like I
Right.
couldn't have been like, this is better or not.
It's
as-
more of like a
yeah.
phrase. There was like a phrase.
There's something about the phrasing that he didn't
Some,
like.
a little
But
phrasing.
it ended up being cool. Like, I
Right.
don't know. It all, at first I was like, who's it? You know, what the heck? Like, why? And then I was like, no. Like, he's allowed to say that.
Yeah,
you know?
totally. That's kind of
He
yeah.
would stop
Yeah.
it. He would stop it, and there'd be like a long pause, and everybody would be like, and then he'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, sometimes it was
you
an
know, like,
okay.
it would be like, yeah, like sometimes it'd be okay. Sometimes it would be, that's better.
Oh, that
You know,
shit
like,
is
it'd be
so
just like,
fucking like just nerve wracking.
He
It
did
was,
tell
but it
me-
was cool. Like, it
we
was
played
cool.
we played a show in Gainesville recently, and this guy was there. You know, like you remember the old guy with the curly hair?
Oh
Like,
yeah, the guy that was
the guy because he's like
harassing Emma. Yeah.
he's like your buddy, right? You got the Les Paul, right? I was like, yeah. He goes, Jim DeVito told me that's the best Les Paul he's ever seen his entire life. I
Wow.
was like, that's,
Guess where he got it
dude,
from?
check, yeah.
You gotta tell.
Did I walk? Okay, when this band started. Okay, so at the beginning of this band, I was playing. So I have a Fender Bassman, right, like a 410, like you know, like 59 reissues of Tweed, and I went out and bought. I went and seen Eric Gales,
Hell
you
yeah.
know, and I was floored with the sound that he got. It was like zero compression on this little head. And like he's got these like 2 vertical cabs, and then I was like, and then we kept playing, and it was like, dude, we're really heavy actually. Like we're, you know, like I was playing a Strat. I'm like, dude, I need some humbuckers. Like I need a Marshall. Like I'm gonna be the asshole, and I'm just gonna do it, right?
Yeah.
So I walked into Sam Ash on Blanding in Orange Park, and I walked in there, and I held a couple of them, right? Like I was like, you know, let me get that one, you know, and the guy hooked up, you know, and I was playing, and I was like, okay, you know, this one feels good, and the guy brought down the Cherry Sunburst, you know, and like gave it to me as soon as I grabbed the neck, it was just like, dude, it feels really solid. I played it, was like, yeah, I took it home, and literally the first guitar, like the corner guitar right there, That's the one, dude. Like it's just right off the show.
Jim DeVito, who's held like probably some of the most insane guitars his whole life, just
Dude,
was like,
he's got like
"This
he's
is
got
the
like,
one," and it was like it came straight off the floor. It's
Yeah,
smash.
dude,
Yeah, which is
literally.
like wild because like Gibsons
Yeah.
now, especially, are like known for
Mhm.
not coming off the wall very
No.
very
Yeah.
well, you know.
Not at
Well,
all.
there was like 2019 was bad, you know, like 2020, but like apparently like they were saying like 2021. It was built July 13th of that year. It's brand new.
Really?
Yeah, it's brand new. There's a picture of it from the factory. I got all that shit.
That's awesome.
And spectacular, dude. The binding, you know, like if you always tell about the binding, you know, like if the fret, if it's like, you know, if it's not very smooth. and,
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
totally.
yeah.
You know, that's like
Right.
a lot of those like custom like Warmouth
Mm-hmm.
necks will come and like the frets are like hanging off the sides.
No,
and it's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
fuck,
right,
man.
right. You know, yeah, or the nut's like just a hair off center, like it feels sort of, you know. But all the hardware was, you know, I'm actually gonna take the traditional tuners off. I'm gonna put some Grovers on, like Jimmy Page, you know, stay in tune better. You know, 'cause
Yeah.
with a 3-piece, you can't.
What color is it?
Sunburst, brother. It's a cherry
it's
sunburst.
a cherry sunburst.
What does that mean?
It's like the
You know,
red.
some-
and,
It actually changes color sometimes. Like sometimes it's like people's like, yeah, that red guitar, and then it's like, no, it's orange. No, it's fucking, you know.
Oh,
depending on the lighting.
It's
yeah,
cool. You know, it's
yeah.
cool. It's cool.
chameleon.
Yeah. Right. No,
I
it
always
is cool.
thought those were the coolest looking guitars.
Les Pauls, yeah. I mean, they are.
Oh, there it is, right there.
Right there, yeah.
That's it right there.
Yeah, you have
Well,
the flame, the
mine-
maple flame top, or
Yeah, well, it's just a no. It's just a. So mine is the 50s.
Did you pay that much for your guitar?
The 50s.
Sorry.
No, I did not pay. that much. Mine is
I
the
just-
mine
I
is the
just
standard.
glanced.
I think that's the HP model. Mine's the standard model. Where it's-
Okay.
It's like and mine's got
That
like
one's
the
got
really
more horsepower than
the
yours.
really fat neck. It's got like mine has the really fat neck. It's the 50s model.
the 50s
It's
model,
just
yeah.
standard. Like there's the 60s. The 60s model, dude. It played.
slim necks.
Dude,
Y'all are so lucky with guitars. This is just insane. Like all the stuff you can do to them.
Yeah.
And then synthesizers, you're like, here's the new model. It's got numbers and letters, and that's about it. And we won't make a new one for the next 10 years.
Yeah, but you can explore. some
And then
really
like
crazy
every single
sonically.
guitar like will
Yeah.
play differently
No,
and,
yeah,
and like
they
feel
could design
differently.
them cooler, right?
But they just don't.
They could make synthesizers with like cool stuff coming out the sides
Yeah.
and like different
Nah.
color patterns.
Imagine
Yeah,
the
I think
price
you need
points
it,
on
they
those.
Nah.
Whoa.
Yeah, imagine the price points if you started to add those extra frills. They
Dude.
can't do it.
The
Forget
only
about it.
company that ever did that was Moog when they were making the Moog Voyagers, but they don't even make those anymore. But you can like customize like what color you want anything on it.
That's
But
crazy.
that it's still gonna sound exactly the same as any other Moog Voyager that you buy. Is all I'm trying to say. And you can't really do stuff to it. You can buy pedals and stuff, but you
I mean-
can't add on
I
like
mean,
humbuckers to a fucking synthesizer.
mean,
Maybe you can.
you
I'm doing it
could.
wrong.
I mean, you know, I played the 60s model, and it just played terribly. It was just, you know, but the 50s model was, you know, like when you bend, it's really nice and just everything, you know, like it all is supposed to just sort of come together all at once. You know, like if you're playing and you go to reach down, you know, it's supposed to, you know, it's like driving like an old stick. It's supposed to, you know, it's not perfect, but it's supposed to, you know, and that's the style of the band. Like I was never really playing pedal like using pedals. I was really just like a blues player before this. I was never really writing anything, and we got with a band and stuff. So I was like, I'm gonna try out this Les Paul and Marshall and just, you know, go for that sort
That's
of thing.
your fucking sound, bro. You
Yeah,
sound
it's-
great with
he
it.
murders it.
honestly.
So yeah.
I did want to kind of get into the writing process a little bit. So obviously, there's like a lot of the Who and Hendrix and a lot of the classic rock era influences. Was that like a choice? Were you guys going into this band saying we're going to write music like this, or is this just what kind of naturally comes from your collaboration?
I think it's definitely just kind of what we are inspired by. It wasn't necessarily like we want to do this kind of like, you know,
Right.
the rock revival thing that now we're kind of in the direction of, which it's not. I think that we have a lot more on the table to offer than just like pigeonholing ourselves that way.
Yeah.
But I think that growing up, that's like I listened to a ton of different music, and that was what really kickstarted my musical endeavors, was hearing like Zeppelin, hearing the Who, CCR, Sabbath, that kind of stuff. That's where I was like, holy shit. And so I think that's what really motivated and inspired me. So that's the kind of stuff that when I hear like him play, you know, I'm like, holy shit, like it comes right back.
Yeah,
you know?
totally.
So that's where I hear like melodies and lyrics and things like that. It really kind of sets itself up and lends well to that style. It wasn't. I don't think it ever in my head was like, oh, yep, I want to sound like that. But now that's what the coolest part is that it does kind of sound like the stuff that we love. So
Yeah,
it's
but
pretty cool.
you do it in a very, I think, obviously just like the technology nowadays is so much more sophisticated. So there's a very modern kind of tone to what you guys are doing. It's a reinvention. Very much is a revival.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah, for sure.
You guys crushed it at 1904 when I saw you, by the way.
Oh,
Thanks.
Yeah.
I was like, I gotta go see you because I felt so bad with the last time you were here at my house recording this podcast, and then it was like 2 days later that
Literally.
you played. Or was that? I think it was the
It
next
was.
day.
It was.
It was like a Wednesday or Thursday, one of those nights.
I
I think it was Wednesday. Whatever. The whole point is that like I went in there to come see you, and just blew me out of the fucking water. Like seriously,
Dude,
and I
thank
saw
you.
you played
Thanks,
like
man.
not even like a week before, and y'all were okay. I'd say 8
Is there
out of 10.
is there a reason for that?
Well, you tell us.
No,
Oh,
I'll say
okay.
this. I'll say this because now that you play drums and sing at the same time, that like emotion that you get as a singer when you perform, because you're saying like actual words and everything like that, but then doing that in a rock form on drums, you don't see that very often. I think the only person that really perfected it was Phil Collins. And
Don
even,
Henley.
no,
No,
I don't really like Don Henley very much.
Okay, well.
Fuck the Eagles, man. I don't like the Eagles,
opinion.
man. You turn it off, man. Anyways, but I'm not trying to sell y'all short or anything like that. But like that new edition or
no,
whatever,
dude, it really.
or subtraction.
Yeah,
That's
right?
what it really
Subtraction.
is.
Really, dude. Okay, so we had a show in Orlando, and we were doing this, and
I
it
was so fucking nervous,
dude.
by
It
the
was
way.
really it was bad.
What at
Understandable.
1904?
First time.
No,
Orlando.
no.
Orlando.
Yeah.
Well, kind of both, but Orlando was the first time that we did the trio thing.
And we got together at my play at like our rehearsal spot, and at like 9:30 in the morning. The show was that night, and I'm like, I'm just like, man, this is weird. Like I was like, man, this is different, and like playing those songs, and it's like, but as soon as we did it, the entire like syncopation aspect of the songs like sunk down into this like place.
The first time,
Like, you
the
know what I'm
first
saying?
song we played like that.
I looked at John.
We looked at each other. We're like,
I was like, dude, and I think we didn't even run this. I think we just jammed.
Yeah, we ran two
Dude, we just-
songs. Yeah.
We just played some like group, like John, like it was nuts, dude. Like he was just holding down like something disgusting, and John was just like, and we're just jamming. Dude, it was like one of the best jams I've ever. Like it was just insane because his musical mind, like when he's singing, when he's trying to write, when he's like performing a vocal melody, he's Steven Tyler was a drummer.
Oh, he was.
Yeah, dude. Good drummers make good singers, Robert Plant, really leaned on Bonham, So like, I mean, it's a weird,
You
Well,
just don't get to see it very much. Now. I
No,
just
dude,
loved
no.
it.
Yeah, So
Well, there's a very weird relationship that I think, not weird, but just it makes it's logical. It makes total sense. But like, I think most people overlook the relationship between the singer and the drummer.
oh yeah.
And I was guilty of that too until I started listening to hip hop, and I was like, oh fuck, like if you're not like right on it,
Right.
if the rapper's like not right on it, then you hear that kind of tension,
tugging.
Right,
Yeah. And now it's like
yeah.
when I'm singing, I'm trying to always pay attention to where the drummer's at and trying to make sure that I'm locking in
Right.
with them as close as possible.
Right.
Because that's how otherwise, shit gets sped up or like the groove kind of, gets off. It's just weird. So for you to be able to sing and play at the same time must be awesome. I think Billy makes a really good point.
Thank you.
Like where the emotion that you're getting from singing is actually coming through in the playing as well.
awesome.
Yeah,
You
that's. I think
Gave me
that's
goosebumps the whole time.
that's my favorite part. I think, and I kind of.
You guys are okay though.
I never.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I feel
by the way,
I'm
I'm just not even gonna
over
play. Dude.
here.
I'll take my fucking guitar off. and
Before
just
I
let
even
these
say
dudes-
anything else, these are two of the
No, without a
greatest
doubt.
musicians I've ever played
Dude,
with in my
I will
life.
literally
Like,
take my
hands
guitar
down.
off and just let these dudes be like, okay, I'm going home.
let's go.
No, it's cool though. That's what I think is the best is that we all respect each other and we all like
Oh yeah, dude.
we want to support each other as now like a trio in a way
Right.
in like a group that I've never felt like everybody is here to comp for the other player. It's not like
yeah.
it's not like two of us are here for you or like this is here for it's like we're all working
It feels
together.
like a perfect. They say it. the triangle's the strongest shape or whatever, and it
Yeah.
feels like a perfect kind of triangular dynamic where
No,
like
no, it is.
I don't know, it
is.
feels very
It's,
stable and very strong.
Well,
and
it's just
cohesive.
sharper. I mean, physically, sonically, it's a 1904. The song to me, the songs sort of sit down more. There's just less shit to worry about. As far as like like when I take a lead or something like that, it's like there's only these two. There's I mean like you know what I'm saying? You can't really explain something like that. It's just more of a feel.
It's a feeling
It
thing.
is a
Yeah,
feel,
there's just a chemistry that
Right,
just
yeah.
happens,
No.
I was gonna say, like, in the 50 years of my experience, I think a trio is the way to go.
Listen here.
That was good, man.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, but doing what? Doing what? I'm sorry. What's your name?
Chilling.
Sorry.
He's been taking anti-aging meds.
Yeah, chilling for 50 years. What's the? I don't know if you have more than one,
So-
but what's like the name of that like slower song that you have?
The blues one?
Yeah,
That's a newer one.
Yeah,
And
that's-
that's
is
like
that-
one of my favorites.
is that
Don't
that's
really
not on
have
the
a
album,
name.
right?
No, so we are already on our way for the second album now. We're gonna try and record the next one in July.
That's my favorite one. Though.
Yeah.
What's
so
the name of that one?
That I don't even think there's like a working title. We call it
Oh.
New Blues, but I
Yeah.
think like
Blues.
Waiting on You is a title, but
That'll
that's
work.
just like
Mhm.
that's the chorus.
We're doing a reveal right now.
Yeah, right
reveal
now.
right now.
We're gonna beat. No, I'm just kidding. But
Because I was scanning through it today. I was like, where's that song I really like? But,
yeah, there's
Alright.
there's plenty of the. If you see a show soon or have seen a show in the past couple weeks, a lot of those songs or a chunk of them are not on the record. Like we just debuted another song at the last show. We're probably gonna play another new song at the next show we're playing. We're trying to, in my head anyway. I don't know if we even talked about this, but as for me, I've been thinking like it's so cool that we are able to do that, and I just would like. I don't know. It's a great thing to continue on.
Right.
Feels good.
Well, you just stay fresh.
Yeah,
you
for
just-
So I'm actually curious as to where you guys stand on that because this is kind of an internal thing with our band too, where it's like, well, you don't want to play all the new material before you've recorded it because if you're playing it before you've recorded it and released it, and by the time you recorded it and released it, everyone who's gonna like listen to the album has been hearing this song for the last year or whatever it might be. So what's your guys' stance on that?
I think it's the speed. Honestly.
I
Yeah.
could see it being either way. I think to me, like as a listener of bands that I'm a fan of, it's almost kind of enhanced either way. Like if there's a record that I love and I know all the songs note for note, and then to see that live, obviously that's a really special kind of thing. But at the same time, I've had bands where I was lucky enough to be at a show where they debuted something new, and it blew everyone's minds because it was something new. Like I saw Tool once, and they debuted a new song, and it blew everyone's mind. And then a year later, that song is on the record, and it was
gonna
kind
be
of
like, more like 10 years later, right?
surprisingly,
Yeah.
this time it was 1
Oh,
year
no
later.
shit.
I mean, like I can't.
But
yeah.
but basically, I found that equally magical to say, I remember watching them do this, and now I'm hearing the finished version of it. And I don't know, the live and record versions of a song, I think they just really complement each other in a kind of, yin yang kind of way.
Yeah.
So I don't know, as far as creating new tunes, I think it works either way. I think it depends on the pacing of what you're working with. Like if you have a recording scheduled and then you come up with some cool ass idea right before it, and then you go in and you're like, cool, let's record this. We just wrote it. But at the same time, if you have a song that maybe you've been playing it on the road for a few months, it's going to get more and more dialed in
Just
over
about to
time.
say that I think that songs are
And
kind
then
of
when you record it, it's like, it's
That
money.
road night.
it's
Yeah.
it's kind of like comedy in that way, right?
Yeah,
Where it's like
exactly what I was thinking.
like the music. I mean, obviously, like, you can record music in a void, and it could be a great thing.
Yeah, you got to see if it's funny.
Yeah.
Or like if it's
Exactly.
good enough,
Yeah.
if people like it, you know what I mean?
And also, like when you play it live, like even sometimes, regardless of the crowd reaction, sometimes like you're not feeling the arrangement or like this part happening here, whatever it might be. Like maybe it feels awkward for you, or like or it just doesn't feel right live. So then you make adjustments as you go, and before you know it, 3 months of playing the song on the road, you come home and it's a completely different song. and like you didn't want to like it's good because you don't want to have recorded it the way that you didn't want to want it to come across.
But like what
you know?
John said with the pacing, I think you have to be like, okay, we're gonna play this song and it's a new song, like within this amount of time frame. It's gotta be recorded on this album. Otherwise, you kind of miss the boat.
Yeah, 100%.
I think that's
I agree.
that's where we sort of have an advantage in terms of our track record so far. I think that the speed that we write music is what sets up the recording process. Because now we released an album in March and we want to record another one in July, and then we're probably going to release that in the fall. And I don't know. It's working in a way that we
just to always have a batch of new tunes.
Yeah, and it just
yeah.
keeps people on their toes, you know. And like I'm such a fan of that. Obviously, all the bands we love, you want to hear the stuff they know. But right now, like as far as I'm concerned, like not a whole lot of people like know about us yet. So it's fun to just be like, if you come out to another show, you're gonna hear new music, you know. So it's like it's kind of cool, and it's a way for non-selfishly for us to be like, yeah, we write a lot of music, you know, and like, but it's cool. I think it's amazing, and it's something that like I don't mind feeling like selfish or like I'm bragging. Like it's just awesome. I think it's amazing.
Well, you know, if it's there, you know, it's to me like a new song. You know, like I mean, like you know, like John said, you know, like you know, you go to see a band and they're playing the song, you know, and all of a sudden it comes out on their, it's like a single or whatever. Those are two different experiences,
right?
You know, like you know what I'm saying, like experiencing. Oh, like what is that live? And you're watching, you know, each member, and you're like, oh, okay, like you know, and you're taking that in, you know, you remember that, you know, and then, or if you're me, you know, like I grasp onto it, you know, and then, you know, like listening to it through, you know, a set of speakers. I mean, you know, there might be, you know, obviously sonically, you know, it's, you know, different. That's, you know, a completely different experience.
Sure.
So, you know, it's just I mean, really, it just all it's experience. It's like, you know, giving people an experience, you know,
Totally.
through music, you know.
100%. And I was thinking the same thing, like the live experience and the studio experience are obviously
Right.
gonna be very different experiences. I remember the year was 2002, I believe. And I saw Matchbox 20 live.
Wow.
And it was actually a really good show.
Fantastic band.
Yeah, they actually really are. And the guitar player is a fucking animal,
You
actually.
were 11. How can you be
Dude,
a critic
listen,
of any band at 11?
I was really into him, man. And the guitar player is actually like an animal. But
Carlos Santana?
yeah,
What kind of animal?
So what kind of like a tigress, maybe?
He was really feeling that
ferret?
superstition high, like the 1999
Yeah, well,
album.
but okay, so but either way, what I was saying is that
Robbie.
when I saw them live, they debuted this song called "Bright Lights," which is basically when they did it live, it was just Rob Thomas at the piano playing it. And I remember listening to that song. I was like, "This is an amazing song," but I've never heard it before. And those albums were like, my mom's a huge fan, so like they were always playing when I was a kid. So I knew every Matchbox 20 song. I never heard this one before. And then it came out in their next album, and I was so excited to hear the song on that album because it was a completely different experience, you know.
Right.
Totally.
And also to, you know, like the difference between like where we're at versus a band like that, where it's like most people haven't heard any of our music yet, so you can play it out like a million times,
Right.
and it's going to be new to most people when they hear it. You know?
If imagine you're at a concert of like your favorite band, like an old school, not old school band, but like a band that's been making hits for forever.
Mhm.
Would you rather hear a new song they wrote or listen to them talk about a sort of political or environmental agenda for 3 minutes?
Oh, I for sure just want to hear some new music.
New music, really?
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know what's worse though. I'm serious. Like imagine if you went to here's a Bob Dylan. You go to a Bob Dylan show.
Yeah,
That's true.
He's never gonna play what you want to hear.
I can vouch for that because
Yeah,
I've seen
yeah,
him
yeah.
live and I didn't recognize one song and I was kind of
If I went to a Bob Dylan show and I knew he's gonna play all the hits, but then at 3 minutes he's gonna talk about gun control or something like that, I'd be like, all right, let's do it.
just get into it.
I gotta
100%.
say,
I'd rather hear
my-
that than your new stuff.
My friend,
I'm sorry, is it true?
my friend went to Bob Dylan at the amphitheater in St. Augustine.
Yeah, what do you play? What's his set list?
He
I'm
said
wondering.
that was the only show he's ever walked out of.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was that
That's what I
show?
mean.
He said it was like that unbearable.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, it's Bob Dylan. Like,
Yeah, I
you know,
would
you
just be
don't
there
want to
just
like.
looking at him. I'm just
But
like,
it was
oh
just,
my god. Dude.
and he like, but apparently he didn't do like of course, didn't do anything that anybody wanted to hear.
Right.
And then he was like kind of being weird on stage.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was like hammered or what was going on, but yeah,
like
he was like,
80.
it was just ridiculous. Yeah, he was just old. But like, he said it was crazy. He was like, okay.
But imagine
Sorry,
going to see
derailed
Willie
there.
Nelson. He's like, no,
I've
I'm not playing.
I seen him.
Roll me up and
My
smoke
Only
me when I die.
Sunshine.
Yeah.
I'm not playing it.
Well,
yeah, I went and saw. It was Herbie Hancock and Wayne Shorter playing as a duo.
were they not playing the hits?
It was, dude. It was the entire show was just like atonal like noise improvisation. They didn't even play any tunes. It was just, and it was just like,
Noise rock.
and everyone, dude, all these presumably like people that were just, oh, this is Herbie Hancock. It's a famous jazz musician. I should go and see it. Everyone was so mad. I could tell. Like, and when we came back after intermission, it was like half empty. Like everyone was leaving.
Bro,
And I thought it was interesting, but I was kind of like, if I wasn't into stuff like this, I would be mad.
that's the thing. Like you're a trained musician. Like most people can't wrap their. I mean, I like jazz, and even like Mingus gets too far out for me. You know what I mean? So I can't even imagine what like those guys were doing on stage. I just be like, I'm done with this. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know. We should get into some bottom of the Billboard stuff.
Anyways.
Yeah,
Ooh,
we're talking
yeah.
about music that is undigestible. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this week, I didn't actually write it down here. But it's Aphex Twin.
Yeah. We're doing. I decided to do Aphex Twin. I remember last time
Yeah.
we were like
Well, yeah.
the one you presented last time. That was it's too soft. I'm like, all right, I'll give it to
Yeah,
you the way you want.
I like the trash can.
Give him the real
effect.
deal.
Yeah, you did like
that's
the
about
trash
it.
can
The
effect
trash
on the
can
last one.
sound. That's about it.
So
Alberto Balzo.
For the listener who had to miss out on the fucking gem that was the last episode.
This
This
one's
one's doing great
going
too, but
pretty good.
the last one was really good too with the Alberto Balsam, which is the most boring Aphex Twin song I've ever heard. I just want to get
You're
that
you're
out
not
there.
completely wrong about that. but
Yeah. So, anyways, what was the song this week?
Window Liquor.
Yes, Window Liquor.
Let's go.
That's a EP or
The
like
title
a,
had
like a
me
single
right
release.
away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
And not to mention the album art.
yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Boys, can we get some album art and all that stuff thrown up there when you get a chance? Don't worry about it. Take your time. You know what I'm saying. But anyways, so I'll repeat myself again. That Aphex Twin it was like the first. I'm not band, I guess DJ. I should say music producer that I got into when I was a kid, like like middle school, and I was like, oh my god, I'm never listening to contemporary Christian music again. Jars of Clay is out. Aphex Twin forever. But I was down with the DC talk as well. Anyways, Window Liquor is a song that is famously,
there it is.
there's Richard D. James, 100%. Yeah,
That's
There it is,
ridiculous.
dude.
Classy dude.
classic guy.
What a good looking.
If there's any possible way that you can find the YouTube music video, you can't show it or anything like that, but I just want that limousine that pulls up. It's the funniest part in the world. I don't know if we could get away with showing that. Anyways, whole point is Aphex Twin changed my life, got me into synthesizers and music, and I love this song. Have you've seen Grandma's Boy before, right?
Yeah.
The song where the one guy is walking in to go see the robot guy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's like, do you like this music? And he's like, no, I don't really listen to techno. And he's like, well, you would if you had robot ears. But anyways, the song that's playing in the background is this song, is Window Liquor. It's the end of it, actually.
Okay.
But I love this song because it's like very far out there with the percussion, and it's just all over the place. And then it just slowly just goes into this like just super gothy industrial
That heavy part at the end.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
love that part.
Super
So,
intense.
10 out of 10 for me. I would love, but anyways, Tony, what's your opinion?
So I actually really like this song a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
What's your favorite part about it?
So I love
8 out of 10 at least.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'll get into that in just a second. But I liked all the textures that were happening. I thought like there's a lot of cool stuff going on. It's kind of got almost like an early dubstep kind of vibe. There's some cool kind of like polyrhythmic stuff going on.
I picked
Yeah.
that up.
And
He's really good at percussion. I feel like that's how he really shown out.
yeah,
and also like he was like the first person ever to do like the really 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 super fast like I can't do the
yeah.
sound.
I know what you mean.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Those hits or whatever.
yeah. Which is kind of like
glitch drums.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know what to call it or whatever, but it's like you take a snare hit and then just put it on a 164 arpeggiator and just go. There you go, just like that.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
I loved all that stuff. I thought it was really cool. And the arrangement, it goes into like this bridge, which is like kind of minery and like just a whole different vibe. And then he brings it back. It's super cool. I didn't like the vocals that they use on there. It's
Oh,
like,
the ooh.
Yeah.
I thought that was so dope too.
yeah.
I fucking love. Yeah.
I didn't like it. I thought
Love
it's kind of like pitchy and weird. And I get what's going. Just
yeah.
yeah. Just I didn't like that. But
So
everything
great.
else was really
asses. Anyways.
a great song.
Mhm.
Yeah, but everything else was really awesome. And I love that one.
You like the ending of it too? The
Yeah.
industrial part.
Mhm.
I love. Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
all great.
What do you guys think?
I definitely highly recommend you watch the music video. It's one of my favorite music videos of all time. It's just incredibly creepy,
Yeah, I didn't watch the music video. I just
Yeah.
listened to it on Spotify.
and it's very long too because there's like a 4-minute intro on it.
What do you guys think of this song?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
the intro got me. Yeah, I pros first.
Pros first. Let's hear it.
So I liked like some of the actual cadence of the song. The beat was cool. As soon as like the kind of Pornhub sounding noises started
Yeah.
coming in.
Yeah.
Okay, did you guys ever use like Fruity Loops
Yeah,
as a kid? Because as soon as some of the beat and the noises came in, it immediately reminded me of like finding random sounds.
Yeah.
It just like I'm not taking anything away from this man's ability. By the way, incredible. From the last time I listened, but I just was like laughing to myself because some of it like seemed just so randomly placed, but definitely was placed on purpose. But then the voices would come in, and I was like, holy shit! Like I feel like I would do this for a friend, like being funny, but obviously not the case.
So you didn't like the
So,
voices either then?
It was a little like I don't know. It was interesting. I
Yeah.
couldn't say that it was bad because it wasn't bad because I kept listening. Like it had me. And then the way the song progressed, the end was my favorite part though.
yeah.
Like where it goes into the like you can hear it start to clip and then it's like and it just goes into that just really like you said like goth industrial kind
Yeah.
of sound.
Yeah.
There's this incredible person on YouTube that does an acoustic version of that song with all the weird sounds and everything.
Whoa.
It's
Okay.
ridiculous.
I might have to check
And he
that
does
out.
it all in like one take too. Like you can watch it. It's just
That's
incredible.
That's
Yeah.
Wow.
What do you think, John?
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was incredible. I thought it was a great tune.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Everybody should listen to more Aphex. 100%.
Yeah, I was really into it. What struck me was that it was so dense. It was like
yeah.
almost every like he has this amazing ability to straddle the line of a loop. It's like every single measure is different to the point where it's almost not a loop. But you can tell that it all started from a loop, if that makes sense. So
100%. Yeah.
It's true.
every single measure he'll kind of there's a snare in a different place, or there's a different and like, or he flips the beat,
That
or there's an
actually
extra
sounded really good.
kick, or like, yeah, I don't know. It's amazing. It's like it feels repetitive and trancey, but it also feels like the same thing doesn't happen twice.
Right.
And I don't understand how he achieves both of those at the same time. I think it's very cool. And I thought the vocal samples were pretty interesting. I thought it was kind of unsettling in like a cool way. Like it kind of took me to a different world, you know.
I can see what you're
And
saying.
then when
Yeah.
that heavy part at the end happened, I was like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can see forever.
Yeah. That's why I did like
I
about it.
loved it.
That's what I did like about it a lot. Is that song had there was movement, there was like things happening, there was like transitions, and there was sections, and that's what I like about songs. I like it when it takes you on a journey. The whole thing from start to end.
No pun intended.
And that one definitely did it for you. Buddy, did you listen to it? Called out
I
on
almost-
the
I
podcast.
almost
He's
did.
like, who?
But I didn't. No. I checked it out.
Tumbleweed.
I was wondering Okay, here's what really that I'm impressed with. I'm wondering how in the hell he even physically like came up with stuff like you know what I'm saying? Like who the hell just sits back and it's like it's just super pioneering.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like no, it is.
Especially
Like,
the
what else
context
was
of
he
the time.
Hey
like-
boys, can you look up what year it came out as well? Because that's very important.
Yeah,
too.
I'm like
Because he
sitting there
made all
going,
those, right? All the sounds.
Yeah, he made everything.
Yeah.
That's just fucking incredible. Like
Yeah.
I'm, I mean, seriously, I'm just
Yeah.
like, for someone to have that musical mind to just sit there and like want to do shit like that, like it's just a fucking genius.
That's why I always get in this argument with like especially the older generation about like
The older generation.
Yeah, like with electronic artists or EDM or whatever.
Boomer.
Yeah, for real though, because it's if you're a DJ, you're not a musician. It's okay. Well, if you're producing your own music, then you're a musician.
Absolutely.
Because like whether I'm just hitting notes on a guitar or you're hitting the keys on the piano, like they're hitting buttons on a keyboard, whatever it might be, and they're creating music. Like they have the idea. All being a musician or an artist is having the idea and being able to bring it to life.
Yes.
That's all it is. Doesn't matter what the medium
I
is.
think
I
people
agree
get
with
more upset about the whole live performance sort of thing. All right, so what do you think, boys? Make it on the bill?
I think it makes it on the bill.
Makes it on the playlist, 100%. I think, everybody should be listening to more Aphex Twin.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I definitely think so.
All right, so I did just kind of want to talk for a second about the fact that you guys are a three-piece now. Melanie's not in the band anymore. Do you guys want to go into some kind of like detail about what that experience was or why that is what it is now?
There was a number of reasons, personal reasons, some
Logical
professional,
reasons.
some logical reasons. There was just a couple of incidences that, we kind of couldn't, even as just a band, it's not, first off, it's not male or female. I want to declare that off the bat as
Not
many
at
times
all.
as I've heard that.
Not at all.
Jesus. So it was not about talent. We're not talking about anybody's ability here. It was honestly more of a human decision than it was about like anything with the band's future. Honestly, I mean, yeah, of course we were thinking of like how we were going to continue as a band, but it was more so like happiness, things that I learned as a kid when I was in my first bands. It was like, if you're not having a good time, then what are you doing? But it was less of that, more of other personal things that I should talk about. Maybe other people in the band should address. I don't feel like I'm in the right to say, but yeah. So I think I think personally, and I think I can speak for John and Buddy, that we're all in a really, really good place as a band, as friends,
Spiritually.
yeah, everything. Like it just feels concrete, like really, really, really tight now.
Morally, spiritually.
Yeah, we're all in the same headspace. We all have the same common goal. We all are 100% on the same page with the process involved, what it's going to take, the time it's going to take, everything. That was, some of the stuff that led to that, I think, where we are now.
Well, see, the three of us, we trust the process. We believe in working hard, nothing really gets handed to you. Positivity, of course things aren't perfect, but, when you're, refusing to, show up to a show, and when we have as important stuff as we have going on, that's like that's just a no bueno. Like it's just like to as one big example and everything. And I'm just gonna say it. Like you just threaten to cancel it, like just can't just and it's just like, what are you talking about? Like, we can't cancel this show. I mean, like, there's eyes on us. There's like booking agencies looking at us. There's like very important things happening. Number one, even if all of that stuff was never happening for this band, I am not the kind of person to cancel and like throw my name around like on the ground. I want to be defendable. And it's like just value stuff like that. It's just like like moral like compass stuff like that. That was just there was just a crossroads in that. Seriously, I mean, it was just, these two guys and myself believe in working hard for what the hell you want to achieve. And that's why we're here, And honestly, I mean, that's
At the end of the day, it was just different personalities and different approaches that didn't mesh in every way.
Yeah. Sometimes it's hard to get a band like on the same page with a vision sometimes,
dude,
and that's like the number one factor that always breaks bands up, I think, but appreciate the way that you guys came out and announced everything, and you guys,
It's not our choice.
well,
but you guys
But,
handled it like
We're trying to.
classy pros, you guys are awesome, and
Appreciate that.
and yeah,
you.
so that's about as much as I'll say on the subject.
Because
but-
we kind of know where you're coming from, too, because we lost a guy. You know what I mean? Fallen soldier, you know what?
it was one of
So-
those things for us where it was like, it's not, there was no intention at all.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things where it's like, okay, well, if it does not happen, the brand as Fortune Child, the name and the prospect that the name has made in this market, in the revival industry, in that market, right? With these booking agents and these very important people and these just that entire set of circumstances that has been built, it would have never worked out, because of the fact that the values, the spiritual, the spirit just was not there.
Yeah, you gotta start from the same foundation, otherwise you can't
Absolutely.
grow anywhere.
No.
You know,
Yeah,
so it's
yeah.
just
I
like
mean,
we're all definitely on that level too.
That's
Like
just-
that was a big thing that we
Yeah.
used to, not literally but figuratively preach. You know, was the foundation needs to be as strong as possible. You know, and if you're not, the whole like you're only as strong as your weakest link, you know, kind of thing. But at the same time, like we don't view it. I hate to view it that way because we've been hit at every angle recently about this whole situation,
Right.
and it's been personally, it's been like emotionally
We haven't
taxing.
said
It's
shit.
been-
Like,
yeah, we've been trying to just
literally,
be
yeah.
professional about it, and other parties have not been, and that's that's their
Yes.
decision. That's totally okay. Like freedom speech, do whatever you want to do. I'm not here to tell you what to do. That's okay.
Or how to feel.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. But the stuff that we've been receiving recently was like, oh, we're just trying to move forward.
So we're just
you
a band.
know? Yeah,
Like, we're literally
yeah.
just a
We just
band,
want to
like-
make music. Like at the end of the day, that's really all this is about. And like the way we're making music right now is insane. Like it's everything I could dream of, really. And like walking into this band, when Buddy invited me to be in this band as a singer, I was so excited because I was like, I've never been a singer in a band before. And then he was like, and Melanie's here. She's played with these people. I was like, oh my God, this is nuts. Like, I can't believe that I get to be a part of something like this. I was stoked, and now the way it's evolved, and like, we didn't know what was going to happen a couple weeks ago, really. Like, it was crazy. So I don't know. We all are on the same page in the way that things happen for reasons, and we might not be able to explain them right in the moment, but we just have to trust the process. And we know that something is great here. We just have to pursue it and be, resilient and have that kind of tenacious, what's the word I'm looking for?
fortitude.
Just like,
perseverance.
yeah, just like our personalities. We need to, yeah, all the above.
Tenacious D.
But yeah, I don't know. It's been rough, but I'm thankful to have these guys because seriously, if we didn't have like each other in this, it would suck.
Yeah.
So it's
Well,
it's been a learning experience.
right. One person does not carry any. If anything, we're all carrying each other. It's not one person. That to me, it just really comes down to values. Why are you doing this to begin with? Why, are you doing it because you love it? Are you doing it because, it's just, I know that it's like, I can put my soul in the hands of these two guys, musically, sonically, emotionally, spiritually, and know that whatever they do with it, it's gonna be. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course, man.
As far just like in a band,
Yeah.
like not even a band, but just as like guys, people. It's like and that when you're trying, this is my career. This is John's career. These are there's a market, there's a path, there's opportunities and circumstances that have been met already to pave the way for that, and there just is no room for negativity. There's no room for wanting to slack on work. There's no room for shortcuts and that's just the bottom line.
Yeah.
And
Well, regardless of anything, it's like when you're in a band with people and you're traveling, you're doing the whole thing. Like you're in a van together, you're rehearsing together, you're writing together, you're in the studio together, you're playing shows together. You end up seeing these people and spending more time with these people than you do sometimes your own spouse, or any
Yes.
of your other family. So if you're not kind of all on the same page with things, and you just might be different pages, maybe not one's better than the other, it's just different pages, right?
Right.
Then it's just it doesn't work out, and so.
No.
That's just the reality, and every single band goes through that. So, anybody that's like, that throws shade or does whatever, it's just like they just haven't been involved on a level like that, probably.
Yeah.
Which is what it is.
Exactly.
Very true.
So, anyways, onto a brighter subject.
Brighter. That is bright.
Yeah.
Bright
Yeah,
to me.
yeah. We're moving.
Bright
We're
to
moving.
me. I mean,
Looking to the
listen. I mean,
future.
hey.
Yeah, true.
I mean, pages turn.
For sure. For sure. So I did kind of want to just go into some of your guys' musical background a little bit and just see where you guys come from. Obviously, the music is rock influence, but I know John's got an extensive background. And so what's kind of your guys' background?
So I grew up singing first and foremost. Like as a kid, I was like a little choir kid. Got it from my mom. Her side of the family is very musically talented. She can sing like a bird. And I got into actually, it was probably in late elementary school. I started to kind of find like a knack for like drums. Like I just liked when we did like the congas and stuff in school. But then in middle school, that was when I started hearing like Led Zeppelin. And like I heard Black Dog for the first time and I was like, what the fuck? I probably thought that as a sixth grader. But no, I remember right where I was in Palaca of all places. Very strange. I was going to my uncle's house, going down this brick road, and I was with my dad in his Jeep, and I was like, this is it. You know, like this is it. And so from there, I moved from my childhood home that I grew up in, kind of like a couple miles down. I live in St. Augustine, so I was like south of town, and there was this cul-de-sac. This neighborhood had like barely been developed past us, but there were literally like 5 or 6 houses on the road total. And I moved in the middle of the cul-de-sac, and there was a bass player and a guitar player right next door.
Nice.
And the guitar player taught the bass player how to play bass, put stickers on the neck and everything. But the guitarist's dad was a drummer, so he had a drum kit set up. And I was like, oh my God, you have drums? So then I like dove in. I like went full blown drums. That was the first legitimate band I was in for like 4 years, played drums, started picking up guitar in high school, singing and playing guitar, then did some solo stuff. And then I kind of started doing everything. I was playing drums for bands. I was playing rhythm guitar. I was singing, playing rhythm guitar and singing. Then I started playing bass some, which I've been just kind of dabbling in for fun with some trios and things. But I like to kind of, I'm not a bassist, you know, I don't even really consider myself a guitarist, really. Like, I would say I'm a drummer, but those things I like to have the perspective in because I think that is what gains, like, in terms of a band, like, that's one thing that's helped me more than anything else is having that perspective. So that's kind of why I like to dabble in everything, just to kind of know. I like to know where everybody's at and to be thinking consciously of like, okay, what are they thinking when I'm doing this? Like, what are they thinking? So it's definitely been, I think, a big advantage so far.
Yeah, the perspective of playing different instruments, I think, is just invaluable when you're taking on another instrument. It's like because if you're playing guitar, but you can also play bass and drums, and you kind of know how to get into that headspace and how to play around those things, you know. So that's cool.
Yeah, I really wish I could play another instrument.
You could.
I know, like I could if I had time and everything. But
It's a fresh mindset, you know. Like if I'm working out like a guitar part that I can't seem to, I'm like, this is, you know, like I'll pick up a bass and just like fuck around with it, and then I'll be like, oh, okay, well, I know what I need to do now, you know, because it's like a fresh kind of, you know, perspective on the other,
Yeah, for sure. Because like, and people think like if you play guitar, you can just play bass.
Right.
It's like
so not true.
It's just not true at all.
It's like a melodic drum.
Yeah,
that's why I love
like,
bass.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why I love bass.
Yeah,
it's insane.
I think about that a lot. You can tell the difference between somebody who's a bass player and somebody who's a guitar player with a bass.
100%.
Because they're
it's the
obviously
strap.
they're in the same shape. That's the strap. That's
If
the
it's
strap.
up here, if you're holding your picking hand up here, like next to your nipple, that guy slaps. But if you're holding
Pretty
it below
much,
your
dude.
belt loop, the guy is
you're
good.
right.
There's
at
some merit to that.
Santeria,
No,
and that's
yeah.
about it.
Yeah,
He's wearing
Exactly.
flip flops and cargos.
100%.
Yeah.
I've got like fucking 5 dudes just ran through my head.
I just
No,
the
dude.
same.
I do think it's very. I
35,000
don't really
dudes.
understand. Could you explain to me as a bassist why bassists play up this high and play like Buddy Holly, but
You know, that's a good question. I'm not one of those.
So
So
John plays them lower.
he doesn't.
I
But he
can't
doesn't
say
play
that
it
I
down
know.
here.
That's a rock and roll
Yeah, no
thing.
power stance.
Yeah, I like it around the kind of like medium length, but like
That's what she said. Just fucking nailed that one.
dude, I knew I got myself into
medium.
that.
It wasn't nice.
But what I do think about when I'm getting the bass in the right spot is I try to have my wrists be straight. So I try to find a place where, you know, this arm can be like this instead of if you look at a lot of bass players, their hands are like this.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. You got to look like you're just like coming up over it, and that's how you play bass.
Dude,
Everybody knows.
And also
100%
develop
that's how you
Listen,
play
take
bass.
some notes, John. Come on,
Lots of
man.
people do.
Sorry.
But for real, if I do that for
It
too
comes
long,
with age too, I
it-
think. Just like your socks, they get up higher the older you get.
exactly.
It's the arthritis, dude.
Might
It's
be
the
like that.
arthritis.
Like coming up, like,
But yeah, but it hurts my wrist though. If I play like that
Yeah.
for too long, the tendons start to get kind of.
It looks crazy to me too. I
Sore.
don't get it either.
And it's the same way. It's also like people do this with their other hand.
I don't understand it.
So I try to find a spot where my arms feel straight and I feel like more freedom of motion, I guess.
I thought there was maybe some science to it, and I just don't think there is.
There's definitely ways that you can hold it to make it less straining for sure. And I find like on guitar recently, I was going through those stages where I used to wear it low, and I was like, well, this isn't comfortable to play like stuff for me. And then it was like, when I started wearing it higher, this is a lot more comfortable, but I looked like a nerd.
Yeah.
yeah,
And then it
yeah,
was,
yeah, right.
so I found like this really good like middle point now where it's like I can just kind of like the Derek Trucks thing where he kind of
Yeah.
just tilts the neck up and has it kind of at a medium kind of level. And it's like now this hand's not working so hard. Like my right hand's like right here, and I can just kind of do my thing. So yeah, but there is like there's a comfortability thing right there, and some of it works better than others. You get carpal tunnel, man, or you start fucking your shit up. You're doing
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
4-hour nights, you know,
Yeah,
your
yeah,
wrist is
dude.
like this or fucking like
40
this.
songs a
I play
night,
keys
yeah.
weird.
Yeah, you do.
I play standing up.
No one would ever guess that you're a classical player by the way
No,
you actually
not at
play
all.
your technique. Yeah.
I with synthesizers and stuff like that. If you've got like double tier keyboard and everything like that, playing sitting down is so hard because it's
That
just
makes
like
sense.
you have like keyboards right here sitting down, right, and then you have to get to, like this one above it. It just feels awkward playing like that with your arm up.
That makes sense.
So if you stand up and then the first one is up
Yeah.
and then the second one is like down,
I've seen
that's
guys
the way to do it.
I've seen guys do it sitting down. It looks dope because they're just like over here like fucking playing, like up here it's like
No, but I'm
Liven out.
saying like the part of your
You know what I
arm
mean?
right
Just-
here, it'll get like really sore, like your
Oh,
shoulder
yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
You can't do that all night.
Oh yeah.
yeah, I feel you.
You ever see? There's some Santana show where they have a keyboardist, and it's the funniest thing in the world to me. I don't know why he does it, but he has a 3-tier keyboard stand, and he's plays standing up. So the third keyboard is like above his head, basically, and he plays straight forward on the stage. So it's like
Oh, you
3
can't see
keyboards
him.
and then him, and you're like, what is your deal?
He's like, yeah.
like, yeah, exactly like that. And I'm
That's
just
kind of
like,
sick.
That's great.
not only does that, I just like because he's much
Wall
older
of
too,
keys.
and I'm just like, your shoulders gotta hurt so bad the next day, and then on top of it, no one knows
Maybe the
where
older
you
you
are.
get, the taller your keyboard tower gets.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a
Ooh.
totem pole.
Yeah. That guy's probably a fucking tank with his shoulder day, though. You know what I mean? That guy probably only does shoulders when he works out.
I'd say so.
He's like,
Yeah.
But I thought it was funny. He was doing, and it wasn't even like he had like synthesizers. It was just like organ. I'm like, what are you doing?
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so
This
sick.
reminds me of, like Keith Emerson.
Yeah.
Emerson,
Oh,
like
yeah.
a bomber dude. He'd sling the like electric piano like across the stage and
Oh,
like
yeah.
stab it with swords and shit.
One of the reasons.
He did some crazy- dude, he did. Dude, he really did. Dude, like he was. You should check that out.
He's
dude.
also very rich, so you could do things like
no,
that.
he's also
just, yeah,
very
have
dead.
another one literally
Well,
bring
was
another
very
one
rich when he
out.
was
He's
doing it.
also
on
very
stage.
dead.
Yeah.
But one of the
Very
reasons,
dead.
the main reason why I do stand up when I play though is because of the original keyboard wizard, Rick Wakeman.
Who's that?
Don't don't say it if you don't mean it. But Rick Wakeman, like, there's so many videos of him just like the keyboard Jesus stance. He's just like, that's why I'm going for it.
Shit's
No,
cool.
no,
Oh,
S-
yeah.
Steve Mullets is your guy for the keyboard Jesus.
Yeah, well, it's because he also does play standing up, but that he also does look like Jesus. So, and he'll do that, and then you're just like, oh my god, yeah,
Yeah.
It should just
Keyboard
have like a
Jesus.
spotlight.
yeah.
He's
Particle's
like-
great.
Yeah, Particle's kind of dope. That'd be
Yeah.
fucking wild, right? There's a spotlight, the keyboard player's just like sitting there.
Whoa, look at that white Jesus right there.
Ooh.
That,
Damn.
White
Yeah.
Jesus. That is
Dude,
a
he's
hell of a
literally, like,
good band
controlling
name.
the- He's like,
Jesus. I don't know how well it goes over in 2022, but yeah.
Wait. I suddenly had an instrument that could give the guitar a run for its money. This is a quote from Rick Wakeman.
Rick Wakeman, he retired from Yes, and now his son plays for him.
Dude, he looks
Really?
like he's in the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
keyboard wizard.
He
He's
looks
the
like he's
original
like a
keyboard
fucking-
wizard,
Yeah.
without a doubt.
Yeah.
He's my favorite,
For sure.
like classic rock keyboardist. Also love the keyboardist for David Bowie. I can't remember his name right now. I think he's still alive as well.
Yeah, what is it? What's his name?
But he was an abstract jazz pianist, and then joined David Bowie for the starting like in '69 and stuff.
Oh, really?
Like Aladdin Sane and everything when he did that tour with Ziggy Stardust.
Oh, nice. Yeah, isn't it wild? Do you see like guys that are like at that level of playing, and they play with like Steve Smith played with Journey, right? So he's like this amazing like jazz drummer, but like they get into these roles. It's almost like they do it because those shows need to like there's such high production value where they need to go off without a hitch. So you need like the best of the best.
Yeah, they're like hired gun 2.0.
Yeah.
They're like,
I
who
think
can go in here
Juliana's
and
kinda
not
like
mess
that.
up at all.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it has to deal with the confidence aspect of it.
Very
like
true.
like
Yeah.
if you're like an extreme master of it, then you're not gonna ever have stage fright.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Maybe
saying.
you will, but like it's
And
very
think about those
unlikely.
guys that like I think about this a lot. Like I think about like playing down. Like there's a lot of those guys that are just so insanely proficient and just like prodigies, you know, at their instrument. And then it's like you see some of the guys, like some of the hip hop drummers and stuff, like when they go off and it's just like, what the fuck? You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
you're just like, where was that? You know, like Tony Royster Jr. playing for like some of those guys.
Like Jay-Z and shit.
Yeah, but like the pocket's just like,
yeah.
it's gross. But then
Yeah.
like they go off and you're like, oh, that's what you do. You know, it's like that's your side gig.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
It's like,
like-
Total.
yeah.
Totally.
Crazy.
Nikki Gillespie.
Yeah, she
playing
put-
for Beyonce.
Yeah,
Yep.
totally.
And
Yeah,
she's like
Nth
the
Power, right?
most badass drummer ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nth Power, yeah.
Just saw her.
Chris
Yeah, she's
Dave is
amazing.
kind of like that.
Who's
Yeah.
he play with?
Like, I feel like in like the '90s, he did like radio R&B. Like, I don't know if it was Boyz II Men or something, but that type of band, and just
Yeah.
and it's the most simple shit. But in reality, he's like the most outer space, like abstract. He's like it's just amazing, bizarre, abstract jazz drummer.
Dude, who's the drummer?
He's
for
so
Snarky
creative and
Oh,
inventive.
Sput.
But like you put him on an R&B gig, and he sounds like a drum machine. He
Yeah.
doesn't play any of the crazy stuff.
I wonder who is the most overqualified musician.
He would be in the running.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Yeah,
He's in the running.
Yeah, I mean,
Chris
but,
Dave.
but,
boys, look it up.
but then you think about
That's probably gonna be a good answer.
Paul
Actually, You should
McCartney.
look at it.
but then you think about what's on the line.
Paul McCartney.
He's overqualified.
overqualified.
Let's just call fucking Paul McCartney.
That's the guy from Wings, right?
Yeah.
That's a good band.
That's the guy. No, I don't like
Band
his
on the Run?
style.
You don't like his style?
I know.
You should have
No,
saved that for
I'm
your
just
unpopular
kidding.
opinion,
Holy
bro.
fuck.
I was gonna say,
He's my
'cause-
favorite Beatle for sure.
Dude, he is.
He wrote all the bangers.
he's-
Anyway.
John Lennon wrote some bangers, bro.
He wrote the good ones though.
Okay.
McCartney's voice was
He's like,
pretty.
Wes Borland
Wes Borland.
and Limp Bizkit.
Wes.
He's
Thank
the most-
you.
Wait,
for the
is this
mess-
an article about the most overqualified musicians?
Wow.
No, he
Oh,
totally
the
just.
drummer.
That's the
dude,
funniest
That
shit.
guy
Yeah.
is wild.
John.
Oh,
John
I
Five
don't
is a
know.
badass.
What happened?
Oh, John 5 is a badass.
Yeah.
And he's like one of the nastiest country pickers out there.
Dude.
Is playing like guitar for Marilyn Manson. Makes no sense.
I thought
is
I
crazy.
thought he got canceled
Marilyn Manson's canceled now, yeah, but John 5 is not.
because he finally sucked his own penis.
Well, you know, I don't know. I don't know.
He's like,
I don't know the guys that are overqualified because the amount of money that goes into those productions, it's almost like
The
you need
music,
that
the
guy.
music itself, like what
Yeah.
they're playing, like how simple it is to versus how good they are at their instrument.
yeah.
That's
I
what
think
I'm
it's
trying to say.
situationally. It's got to be like
Not
who is
overqualified. The
Yeah.
better word.
who and what band
right.
is that much better to be like, what the fuck are you doing here?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know? Yeah. I feel that.
because I've seen fucking
Like a Harvard grad working at McDonald's situation. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
I
trying to say?
got you. I got you.
Because I mean, I've seen Steve Smith play with like Mike Stern and like do some wild shit, and then you see him like playing Journey. He holds it down. He does an amazing job. Not that stuff is like super easy, but I mean, compared to like some of the stuff that you're doing, like fusion guys, it's a lot more tame. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's like, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of wild to me how that happens. So yeah. Anyways,
It's probably some church gig guy doing contemporary Christian stuff somewhere.
That-
yeah.
You know what? Actually, that probably is where a lot of it is.
the best drummers, in my opinion, are the guys who come from the church that left the church, like study jazz and other stuff,
Yeah.
because like they have like the nastiest chops, but also
yeah.
like can utilize the restraint. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Sput and from Snarky Puppy, and then like who's the other guy that plays with Snarky Puppy?
Larnell Lewis.
Larnell.
Is that who it is?
Larnell.
Larnell. Yeah, I mean, fucking.
Did you say
nasty.
Dimebag Darrell?
Jameson Ross. Is
Yeah,
one of
dude.
them
Jameson Ross.
from
That's
here.
something.
Yeah, it's Dimebag.
Yeah, yeah. Dimebag.
That's what I thought Chris said over there. That
Yeah, you guys don't remember the
Did he
Snarky
s-
Puppy show where he got shot on
Oh
stage?
my God!
Oh my god.
It's fucking
Rest
crazy,
in
dude.
fucking
Oh,
peace,
man.
They were never allowed a KEXP ever again.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
That's too much.
Let's say okay. I'll give you a great example. Steve Jordan.
Yeah, for sure. I was just thinking. I
Oh
was just about to
shit,
say him.
that's
with
a
the Stones,
damn
dude.
good one.
When Charlie died,
He's one of my favorite drummers
he
ever,
filled
Steve
in
Jordan.
for the Stones.
Really.
Yes, he did, dude. They would.
You
fucking Keith Richards said, "I want Steve Jordan."
And
Yeah,
then-
because they
Steve
combine
Jordan-
them.
Yeah,
yeah, totally.
He
Jordan
is
was unreal.
gross though.
dude. He
Oh,
Steve
yeah.
Jordan is one of my
sets his drum
top
set
5.
sideways, right? Like, doesn't he set it sideways?
Yeah,
on
dude.
stage?
and
That's
he's.
my guy.
I mean, that guy's got such a fat pocket.
It's
Dude,
it's
it's-
undeniably insane. Like
Yeah.
it's just like it doesn't sound like he's playing.
No,
It's
Yeah.
one of those
it's-
guys. That's why like he was the guy that made me
Snares.
want to play like big hi hats like that.
Yeah.
I've
Like,
got
he
I got
plays
one more.
huge hats.
John Mayer for the Grateful Dead.
You think he's overqualified?
That is, Isaiah Sharkey.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
true.
that just happened in New York, right?
This is
Last weekend. Oh, that's last
Yeah.
year.
Isaiah
I,
Sharkey.
I will say this has been one of my unpopular opinions in the past is that John Mayer is my favorite member of the Grateful Dead.
Oh fuck yeah!
Oh my god.
So bad.
John, what do you have to say about
Wow.
that?
I'm not a big fan of that opinion.
Yeah. I've like played gigs and like done like a John Mayer cover and be like, that's my favorite Grateful Dead song. And then people get so mad at me, or do a Grateful Dead song and say that's my favorite John Mayer song.
Nice.
And that gets the worst
He
response.
shouldn't be allowed to sing. I'll say that.
Yeah.
He's pretty good at guitar, but he sings sugary like the fucking dancing and burning.
Oh,
Room
he should
shit.
be-
I fucking hate that.
he shouldn't be singing the Grateful Dead, but I
He
mean,
should
he's,
not.
he's
He's not-
nailing Jerry though.
I think he's a great guitarist, and it even makes sense in a way that he is in Dead and Co. because he's kind of in this tradition of like it's kind of Americana, like the lineage of successful American songwriters, and I can see the through line and why that might have happened, but I think I feel such a resonance when I listen to like Jerry Garcia's voice, his voice and his guitar, but his voice is so unique. It's very, I don't think anyone else could capture that. And then when I hear John Mayer sing the same songs, it's like
Listen
makes
to
me
him
really
sing
uncomfortable.
Sugary.
I've
Listen,
heard it. I've
It's
heard
so
it.
bad.
How does
It's
it make
weird.
you feel? How does
It
it
made
make
me
you feel?
uncomfortable.
How does it make you feel when Bob Weir sings those songs? Though?
Good.
Let's be honest.
Because it's wholesome and it's like
At least
endearing.
he's one of the guys that was there.
Yeah, true.
I guess.
He's
but
literally
like,
one of
come
those
on.
guys.
Whatever.
John Mayer was, to me, I
I have no hate for John Mayer though. I
he
think
was
he's
one
cool.
of the
Yeah,
last.
I
I think he's the last, like
1000%.
mega pop star that was influenced by like Clapton, Stevie Ray Vaughan, and Hendrix and all that stuff. As far as like a guitar player standpoint,
and
Yeah.
hearing
Dude,
it. And
I'm gonna tell
hearing
you
it
somebody
in his
else
playing.
that is a insanely talented dude. Ed Sheeran. I went to an Ed Sheeran show. It was one of the best shows. It was at Tampa Bay Stadium. It's just slam packed like sardines. Insane.
Like talented as a player, or as
Talented
a writer.
at just like musician, his voice, his songwriting, his guitar playing is he's like really cool parts.
Yeah.
Like really, like he's a master like suspended chords and
Yeah.
stuff like different kinds of stuff like that. But John Mayer it's insane. I love.
Just
I
don't
think the John Mayer
dose
trio
him or he will sue you.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, did that happen?
Have you seen these signs?
No.
It's kind of like a meme, but he made it. It was like don't dose or I'll sue. Like it was like a whole thing, and it started when he was like in Dead and Co.
Of course.
And it was like did you guys ever watch the what was it called? His show he did on Instagram for a while.
oh,
I
yeah.
remember when that was a
Fuck,
thing.
what was it
forgot what it
called?
was called.
It had a funny name.
It had a great name. Yeah, I can't remember
Can
what
we
it's called
check
right
that
now.
out really quick? What was the name of that? I watched a lot of them. They were funny, but you can find them. They're on shirts everywhere. It's like don't dose or I will sue. Like, and it's John
Wow.
Mayer's face. Like, and it's kind of cartooned out. But yeah, like I don't know where. Or
What a
why.
fucking square, bro.
Yeah,
That's what
I-
happens when you get a pop star into the jam scene. That's just what happens.
I think it's like part of me was like, is he that much of a dick? Where he's like, don't taint my brain.
He is.
This
that,
is it. Like,
He is that.
but
much of a
then
dick.
like
Do you think
the
people-
later years he's been like he seems like he's mellowed out and he's kind of cool.
But the thing is that
I don't
like
know.
the thing is that some people can't handle those things. I'm one of those people. Like I couldn't handle being dosed especially if I had to play.
Totally.
Like there's no way. Like some people can just like get into that zone and just do it. Like I couldn't do that. I for sure wouldn't want that to happen to me. I also for sure wouldn't make a meme about it or like a shirt about it either.
Right.
Because like I'm not a dick about it.
Then guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna get all of the food, all of the cookies, all of the stuff sent to your room. You know, every
exactly,
night.
exactly. That's just that's the culture. You know?
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, especially if you're John Mayer walking into the dead. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you're just don't put a fucking target on
There's
me
no
like that.
initiation at all. He didn't have to get like puddled or like lick a fucking acid rock at all. Crystal, I mean.
He had to
Even
learn
just
all
being
that
part
music.
of the rainbow hippie family, you gotta do that.
He had to learn all that shit. And
He
he
probably
nailed
did,
it.
bro.
Yeah,
True.
nailed it.
Did we find out what his Instagram show is called?
I think it was called. There it is. Current mood.
Current
Yeah.
Mood. Oh, I thought it had a better
Yeah.
name than that. I was thinking of something else.
I did too.
It was honestly pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I
I'm
watched.
sure.
I watched a little bit of it.
I think you should run for mayor. That's about it.
Okay, say that joke one more time.
Wow.
Let's go.
God.
Mayor for mayor.
He says it every single podcast
Yeah,
and every
he-
single show that we
Fair
play.
and
So like, he
fair.
actually put up some like live video clips of him just like
good.
playing some blues licks. And dude, some of his ideas are disgusting.
Yeah,
like,
he's a great blues player,
Oh,
man.
yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
like he's copped the style, like legitimately. That's a real style to cop as a guitar. I mean, as any player, like, and he's nailed it. What's fascinating to me is that he was not from the jam band realm,
right.
and then decided that he wanted to play with the Dead,
Because
and
he like heard it on the radio once or some shit.
whatever, man. He over the course of a year copped that whole style to the point where you couldn't differentiate if he grew up playing that shit or if he's
Right, yeah.
learned it.
Right.
Like he studied and did his homework and nailed it. You know,
What's cool about
I'm not saying
yeah.
you can't differentiate him from Jerry, but like
John's like, wait.
I'll make that distinction. But even though Jerry on fucking heroin, I'm just saying it was not that great of a
Yeah.
performance.
That's not what this is
That's a
about.
no
Yeah.
from me, dog.
That's not what this is about.
100%.
All
No.
of Grateful Dead is like the whole like mood or whatever you want to call it is that it's like the most endearing American music. Like
yeah.
there's an essence that you cannot like grasp and just being like, oh,
Yeah.
I kind of sound like him. No,
Yeah,
that's not it.
yeah,
You
I know
don't.
it's not. I just like to fuck with people
You
Yeah.
don't.
because
Like-
deadheads are easy to fuck with.
100%. But you shouldn't though.
Yeah,
It's like the worst kind of music fan to fuck with.
yeah, I know. That's why it's so fun.
Those people sell their houses, go on tour.
I'm just
dude.
joking. I like the Dead. They're
Yeah,
fun.
no.
Don't fuck with them.
So, were you say somebody?
Oh, just Mayor's bending is like it's not even like a bit like he's just dude. What John? What's that Dead song that we had a show in Orlando that we were going down to? And we were,
Oh, we listened.
what's
to
that
Oh.
song?
I think
Dude.
it was Tennessee Jed.
What it was?
And
It
I-
was. It
I
was
don't
some
know
kind
what
of-
We
version,
replayed.
but-
Buddy replayed the part of the song like 8 times.
It was a strange.
Really?
He was
it
like,
was,
"What?" And
it was
we
a-
listened to it like
yeah.
a couple times.
Well,
yeah.
he plays this lick, dude.
It's
It's like
we
a-
listened to it a couple
dude,
times.
it's-
I remember because I was. It was on the way home, and I was falling asleep in the back seat,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Fucking again,
Yeah.
Because I'd start like in the rhythm, and it was like, and I was like,
Oh, but he's like taking this lead on this song, dude. It's some kind of weird name, John. It's like a
Oh, it was estimated profit.
estimated
That's what
profit,
it was.
dude. And I
That's
told you,
what
I'm like, dude, that's a badass name for a band, dude. Estimated profit. So
I
anyway,
think it was the album version of it. They do a
I
little
know.
bridge part.
was it
and
the
then
album version?
They
of it?
come back out.
Yeah,
into,
that
like,
wasn't
this
John. I
big
don't think that was
major
John Mayer.
solo. Yeah, no, that was the
Jerry.
original.
That was
It wa-
Jerry,
yeah.
and Jerry played this like lick that like
Yeah, buddy was like, "What was that?" He was like, "Play
Yeah.
that again."
I haven't heard a lick or like that has inspired me or really any sort of guitar stuff that's like except for Marcus King that's like been like, oh shit, like I should like I'm like drawn to it,
Mm-hmm.
There's
is
just
that
one
ever,
lick
or is that just recently?
that recently.
Ever.
I
So-
needed to clarify.
So like he's playing this lead and then he plays this like little like melodic like little like country lick in there, like just a Nashville special like signature little bend.
Yeah.
But but it's like a half step major, like something
Yeah.
weird. It's and it just stands right. It's just like damn, like that. I mean, like you ever hear someone it's just like, oh my god.
I know the exact thing you were talking about because that's like a signature Jerry thing to do, and it's something
Yeah.
that like that I've never heard anybody else do. And this is where I have to kind of like break the facade a little bit, because like Jerry was some of the most like just what's the word I'm thinking of? Innovative guitar players as far as the way that he approached playing lead and mixing all these different genres, and his ability to bend. Like he had this thing where he starts like down, like he starts like down here, bends up, and then comes back down. But it's like boo 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 dude. It's like he's very like it's like very melodic and almost vocal like things, and they're so nuanced. You know, he kind of just fits them in. When Jerry was on,
he would do downward bends.
Exactly,
because he would start already bent.
Exactly. When he was on, he's unmatchable as far as what he does. But what bothers me about the Dead is that you have to sift through so much shit to find a lot of like the gems.
The war has been waged.
You know what I mean?
Not really. I think a lot of people would agree with me.
I don't even think Deadheads disagree with that.
No, not at all.
They all have their errors that they like and they don't like. You know what I mean?
It's years. It's not errors.
You remember that?
Years,
You remember that
whatever.
interview that we seen with Jerry talking about like how the fucking
Holy shit! When he got dosed that
It's
time,
my new
dude.
motto.
Yeah. Play for your life.
Play for your life.
He said he was at some party and he
I've seen this video.
and they were at there was like this cake and he knew the guy was a whack job and he's like, that's dosed. It's dosed. It's dosed. And he's like, oh, I'll just lick the icing next time. It was like 800 hits in the icing. And he had to go play in like an hour. And he said when it started coming on, he started like, he was like, everyone's looking at me. Everyone's looking at me. And then he convinced himself that they were all the mob and they were there to kill him.
Oh,
And if he didn't
God.
play well, that they were going to kill him.
Yeah.
So he said it was like the longest, most agonizing show of his life, but they didn't kill him. So he was like, from then on, when I got on stage, I was like, I got to play for my life.
Oh my!
And he was like,
I
that's
was
what I
like,
did.
figured if I
Yeah, he's
played
like-
well
he's like-
enough, they wouldn't kill me.
Yeah, he's like,
And we did the show, and they let me live.
Yeah.
I feel like I've heard that story before.
Yeah,
Man, that's
I've
wild.
watched that before,
Yeah,
too.
he's like everything was in this like psychedelic roar and like
Yeah.
and he's like this guy comes in, he's just like a mafia guy. He's like they're all mafia guys and they're all and he's like I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna go play and they're gonna fucking kill me. And
Yeah, that was the best part is when he just very bluntly was like, I'm
He
going
was
to
just
play
like-
and they're going to kill me.
He's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
he's like giggling the whole time.
You know, what's
Dude,
funny?
I want to print stickers that say "Play for your life," and I want to put one on my bass so that I always remember.
Yeah.
Do you
That's
know
such
about
a good idea.
Do you know about the Scorsese movie they're making?
No.
Oh, the one about it's called
About Grateful Dead
I
and
saw that.
Jonah Hill's
Jonah
playing
Hill.
Jerry Garcia.
Oh, that does sound familiar, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know what to think yet because it's like I don't know if he's gonna do a great job or not, but because
Yeah.
it's like it's Jonah Hill, but
He's a great actor, though.
I know he is, but then at the same time, like, what?
How you going to do it?
How are you gonna do it?
I just
Yeah.
can't really get super bad out of my mind. You know what
watch
I mean?
him nail it. Watch him just
Right.
nail it. And it's
Yeah.
gonna be like
There's like he
He's
was
gotten
great.
better. This time, there it is.
I mean, yeah.
Uh,
I mean
I don't know, man. We'll
I
see.
mean,
I
uh,
The
could see
noses are there.
I could see it getting there with the right costume and stuff.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that's.
I can't wait till he has to hold a guitar.
the
I
memes,
was about to
the
say that,
memes,
yeah.
and like the jokes in the hippie world. Like, oh my god, they're gonna be so fucking funny.
They're going to rip him to shreds.
The worst
yeah,
part,
without a doubt.
the worst part about those biopics that end up like recreating the life of a guitar player or mainly guitar player is that as a guitar player or a bass player, you can really see like that they're not playing
Yeah.
the
I
instrument.
can't stand
Yeah.
that.
Like when Andre 3000 played Hendrix. I don't know if you guys watched that
Yeah,
movie.
I've seen
Oh
that.
yeah.
Oh my god, so bad. I'm like, bro, I could tell that you tried, but no.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know?
Wait, so do you think that like Jonah Hill right now is like spending like hours on end with a guitar tech, like trying to learn how to play like Jerry Garcia?
I would hope that
And
he's
I
at
would-
least trying to learn how to play the guitar.
Right.
it's
know,
going to
like-
be blatantly. There's no way that they're not thinking about that.
Yeah, they
Like,
have to be.
especially now. Like
Yeah.
I feel like
Scorsese, one of the best directors, probably the best
even
director
like
alive.
5
No, yeah, for
years
sure.
ago, I feel like maybe even longer. That was when the flip happened when they were like, people are starting to realize that you guys don't know what you're doing, and it's like, fucking really, like it's Hollywood, dude. Like you're sitting here to millions of people. Of course, these musicians are gonna be like, you don't know how to play.
Like,
Yeah.
that's what I
Right,
thought
yeah.
was cool in
Dude, do you-
La La Land. Ryan Gosling's like really playing it.
Yeah,
everything.
and
I thought
did
that
you
was
guys
awesome.
watch any of the Pam and Tommy stuff?
Yeah.
That guy, what's his name?
I don't know his
actor?
name.
He's the guy from. He's Bucky from.
Yeah. Oh
from-
my God, yeah.
From the
So-
Marvel movies.
Yeah, but he actually plays drums, and he played all that.
Sebastian Stan.
Sebastian Stan, yes.
Yeah.
He played all that, and it was obvious. I was like, holy
Yeah.
shit, that guy rips.
Yeah,
like,
he
he actually
does.
plays.
That was
was-
pretty
it was
impressive.
cool.
That was pretty
Wasn't
cool.
that also a thing in that Do you guys remember that movie where I think Don Cheadle was Miles Davis?
Yes.
I never saw that.
Yep,
Oh,
great
Whiplash.
Oh, just kidding. That was
Oh,
sick.
sorry. Miles who? Miles Teller?
Yeah. That's so
Well,
good.
yeah, in that movie,
I think
You said
I
that
think he
so
was
confidently. I loved it.
I
think
knew
he
it would
was
go over
actually
well.
playing trumpet.
really?
I think so. And
You would
and this could be wrong, but I remember like reading that Don Cheadle was practicing how to actually play trumpet so that they could make a thing out of like shots where he starts a tune and they can like show a close up and he's actually playing it.
That's very
Wow.
cool.
I can't think of any
And
movie. Really
This is
that-
all with a little asterisk. I might be wrong.
Let's fact check John on that real
Big,
quick, guys.
if true.
But I think he actually played trumpet in that movie.
That's dope
Yeah.
because he nailed it if he did.
I don't remember that movie. I don't
That
know
movie
what
was
you're
kind of
talking
cool,
about.
right?
Yeah, I like that movie. I mean, it's one of the few biopics I actually liked because it was so. I felt like they didn't really try to like glamorize anything. It was all very raw. And, like you really felt like Miles was a piece of shit after watching that movie. You know what I mean?
Mr. Cheadle.
Yeah,
Name
yeah.
of the movie
Wow.
was Mr. Cheadle.
He learned to play trumpet with the help from Wynton Marsalis. That's cool.
Wow, that's awesome.
Super cool.
What about That Thing You Do? You guys remember that movie? they all learned how to play their instruments and learn how to sing and like be a band. For
When
that
are they
movie.
gonna remake that movie?
They should, bro. That's a good one. You guys remember that, buddies? I don't want to say you're too young, but did you ever see that, buddy? That Thing You Do?
No.
Oh, you should watch it. You
Oh,
ever see it,
it's a-
Christian?
Have you ever seen
I haven't.
Alligator Records?
No.
Dude, with it, okay, there's like Etta James, there's like Muddy Waters, Howlin' Wolf, there's like
Is that the
Little
one with
Walter.
Adrian Brody?
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. I know. I've seen that.
That's
before.
a badass movie.
Yeah.
I've not seen that one.
Yeah.
It's about the Motown.
Yeah. Well,
No.
like,
wasn't it?
no, Delta Blues.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was okay.
Those are
My
blue.
bad. Sorry. Sorry.
And the dude pulls a gun out on the fucking engineers, like telling him to turn down. He's like, "Look, my guitar," like, you know, and he's like, you know, it's just crazy.
Those old blue guys, like,
Dude,
the blues guys, they were like
Dude,
the real
Muddy
thugs.
Waters carried like a 38 in his guitar case. Like he was
Holy
like, dude,
shit.
And, dude, so
That's not
So-
that's not Chess Records. That sounds like Chess Records.
Chess Records,
Yeah,
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 Chess Records.
okay.
And,
That was a-
so the
I definitely saw that one.
dude, so like Hubert Sumlin was Howlin' Wolf's guitar player, right? So there's this one scene where Muddy Waters like hires him to like play for like, you know, and like back then, like, and the whole Clapton thing, like where he got started was like those guys, the singer sang the song and then the guitar player was just like the like accompaniment,
Right.
like behind the verses and stuff. So Muddy Waters hired like Hubert Sumlin to play this gig with him, and then like Howlin' Wolf showed up and like pulled a gun on Muddy on stage, like, "You take my guitar, play it again," like, you know, like it was that serious.
Those
Like,
guys were
dude.
were the real deal,
dude,
man.
they were really like, you know, like Little Walter like took some dude out and like shot him.
Yep.
You know, like,
Yep.
but that movie was really
It-
like,
that was an amazing movie. Can we talk
Yeah.
about how underrated Willie Dixon is? Like,
Dude.
like it just in the just the overall grand scheme of music, he wrote so many classic
he
blues
wrote
tunes.
all that stuff.
Yeah,
dude,
as a
like,
bass player.
Yeah, as a bass player.
Yeah,
Crazy.
pretty wild.
He literally invented da 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 da. He
Yeah.
invented that. Like
Yeah.
that, like that. Yeah, it's insane.
Love
Like,
that shit, man. John, you got to go soon. Where were you at in time?
Hey, we're good. We've got another. They're 10, 15 minutes.
All right, we should get to unpopular opinions then.
For sure.
So my unpopular opinion this week is that I'm going to go ahead and go with the first round from the last episode that didn't get aired. That I don't believe that your last name is Powers. Even though you told me that it is, I still don't believe it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I mean seriously, I'll say it again too because it's something that I still deal with. Is when I play places like in downtown St. Augustine and they put my name on the board and it's like Christian Powers and it's like a Sunday. Always like, do you know Hillsong? Like, do you know? It's like Christian Powers Sunday 2 to 5, and they're like, oh,
Like, they think
extension
that's
of
your
church.
band
Yeah.
name?
No, they think that's like my stage name, and like I get that sometimes. People are like, no, what's your like real name? And I was like, no, like it's Christian Powers.
Yes.
Do you have the
And
powers
they're
of
like,
Jesus?
So are your parents like super religious?
No, I was named after a family member, so it carries weight, you know. And unfortunately, like, well, I think it's cool, you know. Now,
It's
when
a
I was younger, I
dope-ass
was like,
name.
It is cool, dude.
yeah,
yeah.
because people are like Austin Powers. Are you related to Austin Powers?
Yeah.
And I was like, his name is not Austin Powers. The man's name is Mike fucking
Mikey, you
Myers.
fucking remember
You-
that
you
goddamn
fucking
name.
pleb, like
You fucking pleb.
But yeah, so, but yeah, no, Yeah, people say that a lot.
You have like the ultimate rock star name, bro. Christian Powers. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me? Like if you're not famous with that
It's
name,
hard,
it's
dude.
on you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
Damn.
That's on you.
Who's going to a bar to listen to Christian music?
Yeah.
You've asked the $1 million question that I've been
Yeah.
asking for a while. But no, like there's a
Right.
couple places I play on Sundays in St. Augustine sometimes, and it's right after the church crowd, like 1, 2 o'clock.
Name them.
And Prohibition Kitchen, 1.
Oh yeah.
But that's a very hot spot. So people like walk in there, and I see them all the time. Like people that are dressed up after church. You know, it's all good, but they'll like walk up and they're like, "Do you know like Hillsong United? Do you know?" And I'm like, "I don't." And they're like, "Well, then why does it say Christian Powers on the board?" And I was like, "It's really funny, but get this, that's like my name. Like that's what I'm called."
Hey, listen.
And they're like,
I know this is hard for you, but literally, it's my name.
yeah. And they do like the dog where they're like,
Did you
It's like,
tell them that you're Jewish?
No, but
Yeah.
I should just start doing that.
Yeah.
Disclaimer.
Do-
Jewish.
Do you have any Hebrew powers?
I was gonna say, I was gonna say, are there like Hebrew hymns or anything like that that people know? Well,
Welcome to the end of the show. We all decided that this would be a great place to end the show, didn't we?
yeah, we decided that, and also put the camera on the fucking tech crew back
Yeah,
there.
100% on the tech crew.
100% of the tech
We
crew.
got we got a couple words, and everybody needs to see them.
Because I'll give
Yeah.
you the real unpopular opinion of the day.
Here we
is
go.
that Gene should still be working with us.
Yeah.
How's that for an unpopular
Here's an unpopular opinion. You guys do a great job every Tuesday.
Fucking. Here's a real popular opinion. Gene's name should absolutely be Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, that's not
That's
unpopular.
That's a good fucking popular opinion.
No, keep
Yeah.
it up.
Look.
Don't you dare switch.
Don't you-
Don't you dare switch.
this is
so this is what happened.
this is what the screen looked like by the end or halfway through the unpopular opinion segment, because Gene is amazing at his job. And what did we do again this week, boys? We didn't listen to what Anton said. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Well,
And-
that's not your fault because I never do.
Yeah, but you. That's true.
Man,
Yeah,
thanks,
it's
Bill.
true.
Yeah.
Look how good I'm doing.
Yeah.
No, we never
How's-
said microphones. You put your
Yeah,
microphones
you put your-
down.
yeah.
You put them down.
Yeah. And
No, and then it goes right back to you.
Bill is also.
What? Did you fucking
What's
drop
that?
something again?
You can't write this shit, people. I swear to God. And also, just back to your point out listening to me, he
Yeah.
still works a shitty call center job. So I'm just saying. Anyways, back to the tech crew.
Yeah. Just want to say thank you again for fucking this up a second time.
With the same fucking guys. How does it happen twice?
For-
Yeah, cheers. Yeah.
there's-
Give
there's-
yourself a fucking cheers for
There's
that
nothing.
one, boys.
There's nothing fortunate about the fortune child. But
Well, there's nothing fortunate about our
all right,
tech
put
crew.
the
I will
camera
say
back
that
on
much.
us. Put the camera back on us. There we go.
Thank you guys
Stars
for
of the
tuning
show.
in. Sorry that the unpopular opinion segment didn't work
Yeah.
out this week, but I think we got some good,
Do you remember?
content here.
Do you just want to list off the unpopular opinions that they had?
I think Christian's was that.
No, he's that the Arcade Fire is trash.
Yeah, Arcade Fire is trash.
Okay.
Buddy didn't have one.
No,
Oh no, he kind of stumbled into one.
he said that fads are stupid.
all the current fads,
trends are dumb.
all the current
Yeah.
trends are dumb, and then which really led to him not liking mom jeans,
Mom
which means
jeans,
like high
which
waisted.
was turned out to be Anton's unpopular opinion. So they for the first episode.
for the first episode of Bottom of the Bill ever. Actually, go back and watch it. And then John's was
Hitler was right.
yeah. no.
No, it's that passive. I'm sorry, active pickups are bad.
No more government subsidies for active base pickups. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
He's on to something, guys. Just saying. Anyways, we appreciate you guys tuning in. Sorry again
Yeah.
for our terrible tech crew. And
Don't
they're-
apologize for them.
and you're right. And we will see you guys next time. Thanks
Hey,
for
man,
tuning
thanks you so much for Fortune Child for coming to our show twice. And third time's a charm, right?
in. We'll get them back here again. Make sure you check them out on all streaming platforms.
Yeah,
also, By the way.
absolutely.
And side hustle while you're at it.
Yeah.
Anyways, we'll see you guys next time. Thank you for
Adios,
tuning in.
muchachos.